Video 16. November 10, 2010. Mythi. There have been many cases of abductions in which terraqueous females are impregnated by aliens. Why are there such cases? What is the intention? Well, we know a lot of Pleiadians Earthling hybrids, but they are very similar physically to you, and result in normal children, or above normal. In the case of Greys and reptilians, attempts are the hybridization of races, which they try to make happen in a natural environment, not only in the laboratory. You cannot generalize what happens to some alien races. Like I said, the Earth is not an official colony, so a few races of Greys, as you say, bad Greys, without scruples, that have competent scientists in the genetics area, do genetic experiments on humans to try a hybridization between reptilians and humans, to service these reptilians under research contract, as their intention has always been to divide the colonization of the Earth with you. A possible race of hybrids is much studied as a future possibility. To our knowledge, they have failed to develop properly, even with an equalization of antibodies between the races. Any day they'll succeed, and you can have a grandchild or great-grandchild with a face quite different from yours, but perhaps mentally more advanced. You will have many strange news surrounding children of your planet in the coming time. Possibly in this new age, we will have people from planets of Andromeda living here and Earthlings living there with them. Who knows whether hybrids will emerge with time? Well, Mythi, I have a smart kid of 9 years, if you provide some little niece of your planet. We may be relatives. Who knows? He laughed. Mythi, our friend Sticker asked if you could write something in your own language so we can see the kind of writing of your people. Okay. Yes, Sticker, I can, but I will explain some things to you first because this is an interesting matter. We have not used writing in a very long time. Everything for us today is mental. Our records and reports are made mentally to our systems and between us, as well as images. We can write mentally in database systems, which are available for those who want access. We have not had paper or pens for thousands of years. We have photographic memory and never forget what we learned. So we do not need written instructions for absolutely anything. Our processing systems do not work with bits and bytes as yours. It is, altogether, biotechnology. Suppose you and a Japanese friend were in our spaceship, looking for a panel of our system with flight instructions, coordinates, description of duties, etc. You would be seeing everything in English, and your friend would be seeing in Japanese on the same panel at the same time. The system does not write with characters but with stimulus. When developing mental technique of communication, you will not see anything written really. You will communicate with each other and with the system without need for translation because the brain waves will transmit these stimuli, and these signals do not require translation. We do have symbols engraved on pieces and parts for signage, manufacturing data, material, origin, etc. As I said earlier, we have the flexibility to write in any language to communicate with beings that have not developed this mental flexibility. We use the same process I use with you because everything you tell me, I can see how it is written through the stimuli of your own brain. I can write whatever you want with your handwriting. I can write and understand spoken and written symbols anywhere on Earth or any other planet. Because the local residents themselves give me this data in real time from their own translator. If you speak wrong, I'll talk to you wrong. Get it? Suppose you imagine a city in great detail. You'd have to draw it from your imagination and render plans in order to build it. We can do the same thing. But we project our thoughts into a 3D environment where we create and change the plans. Then, it's simply recorded in the system so others can see the details of the project. Imagine that you have to design a cell phone. You have to make the casing, set hundreds of individual components, and put everything together so that each perform a function that allows the working end of the set, right? Well, in our case, with molecular machine programming, I provide the appearance of the device, design, the desired function, operating characteristics, and make available the raw materials that enter the gross process that the production equipment will define and apply. Seconds later, I have the device ready and in the desired quantities. The device will be a unique piece. If you cut or destroy the device, you will not see any component. Everything is molecularly integrated in the same matter, no wires, no visual connections. See the technical difference? Okay, now I can draw you some characters of our writing to see how it appears in that paper you gave me. I'll write.
You are my friends. Our galaxies are sisters.
Okay, here it is. Wait a minute, are you kidding me? How did you write by only passing your flashing bracelet, without using a pen? I transfer the images to the paper using our main system of the spaceship. I can use it as you use your pen. Mythi, the more we talk, the more I feel ashamed of my lack of technology. We need look no further. Your technology, in just a few centuries, has made huge progress. Imagine if we're talking many millions of years. Imagine that you went back in time with a tank brigade to fight the Roman Empire, or return with some nuke subs to dominate the seas in the 17th century. Even if an atomic submarine were captured, they could never copy your technology. You would be a complete alien to your own planet with only a few years apart. The advantage of integration with more advanced races is that you will develop at an impossible speed than you can even imagine today. Mythi, what you wrote, is that translating your Andromedan planet writing language to Portuguese or English? You can see the difficulty? Even understanding our set of symbols, if you decide to write something for us, you depend on the exact adaptation to your language. If you write
Voci.
or
Usted.
instead of
You.
it would be a totally different word. It is impossible to use in general for all. So, it's not worth using. Because you have a large number of languages and dialects on the planet, there has to be a dictionary for each. Some symbols mean many things, depending on where you are in the context of the sentence. It's very difficult to prepare a dictionary with all the variants. Language writing is extremely outdated. The stimulus of the brain speaks only one
Language.
And can be simultaneously translated into all languages. In this example I wrote, it is spelled for English. Just for the record, all of your language is of extraterrestrial origin. All races that are here were brought to colonize the planet in the old agreement of humanoid communities from different points of several galaxies. All of them transmitted to their descendants the legacy essential for development, the main one being the writing. Each of them hoped that their particular race would overpower the other in colonization, providing a single unifying language across the planet. But this has not occurred. The breeds were developed at the regional level, and the Earth so far failed in unification. In this passage, for the new era, that will happen over the next century. You will speak only one language, it will not be any of the ones currently spoken, but a synthesis of several of them. It will be the language of the Earthlings. We had to help a spaceship, a race friend that crashed below the North Polar ice cap. The ship and 305 crew members were rescued and taken to the Antarctic base for repairs, which is the only place on Earth in condition to repair spacecraft. Only 2 of the 307 crew members died. This Arcturian race from a planet orbiting Arcturus is helping in the survey of oceanic volcanic activity. Almost everyone working in the base of the Atlantic Ocean, 6,000 feet deep, are Arcturian. They have great cities underwater on their home planet and are experts in oceanography, biology, and geology of large oceans and great depths. They are also transferring several species of white and gray dolphins, porpoises, and whales to its oceans to protect those species of mammals for future reintegration in an environment already regenerated. It was what they were doing at the North Pole, collecting krill, and other crustaceans. Your scientists may already be realizing these mammals are significantly decreasing in your oceans. The whole base had to be moved to another location because the volcanic activity drifted too close. That took a lot of work. We have been working on several teams, and it took many days to complete. I came today only to account for the days that you should have waited for my return, but we're tired. And we'll take a couple days of earned leave in our colony. I should return in 3 or 4 days. I hope you all stay as well as possible.